allow me to set the scene. I am Robert Downey Jr. All of the other YouTubers are Ben, and the map is my theory.
All right, that's enough of this insubordination. If the machine breaks down, we break down. Hey, man, you know how Rambo 1, he was big with little Puffy, and then Rambo 2, he got all shredded up?
Yeah.
That's kind of how you look right now.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah?
not Rambo 1, but 2.
Really?
Yeah, when he was cut up.
Well, I'm not that. I mean, that's what I'm going for, but you
Come
know.
on, dude. You more shredded than a Julian salad, man.
Thanks, yeah.
What's the secret, dude?
It's a diet. I'm just dying. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to come up a little, but it's just, it's tough.
No, you look good.
Any
I mean,
tips?
Yeah. What?
Any tips
It's
you
like,
got?
you know, there's like the pineapple.
Give me that goddamn map. Fuck you.
That's exactly how I feel right now, dude. Just trying to take a break and step back and and all these cats were just taking my shit and leading everybody in the wrong fucking direction with it, man. It's insane. It is insanity. Now, there's really only about 2 of you that know that I know what the fuck I'm doing, because I still communicate with you guys pretty regularly, and I told you exactly what this shit was going to do this week, and lo and behold, here we are. I have 2 concerns, because I don't want to give out dates to anybody. I mean, either way, everyone is anticipating, a move up. We're obviously entering a bull cycle, but is it going to be a small one like back here, followed by another red bear cycle? It's yet to be determined, which is why I don't want to give out any shit yet, because it's a very good possibility that these 5 green days here were absorbed into here, because we had 4 additional green days than what we had back here. There's a lot of things could factor into that being the case, but just to be safe, we're obviously getting ready to enter into a bull cycle, as indicated here. But is it going to stay in this $40, $45 range that I had already predicted way the fuck back here? And are we going to actually see a day that runs up to 50 or higher and gets smacked back down, much like we saw ourselves get smacked down to 30 something and then run back up to 40 something? I anticipate the same thing in the bull cycle. Have a very, very bullish move and then get slapped right in the face back down. But we're still in the bull cycle. This thing is literally doing exactly what I've said it's going to do. Now all these fuckboys want to follow suit, and they have no idea what they're even talking about. None. Literally zero. None. Starting to hear new phrases that these guys are making up that aren't real. They literally are not real. They don't make any sense. But still, some of these guys are at least, I don't care. If you want to take my theory and attempt to learn it and then try to expand upon it, cool. But people aren't fucking doing that. They're twisting it to make it their own. And it's not, and they're wrong. They're just very, very wrong. So, I just want to protect my peoples. And again, those of you that started buying options from watching me somewhere back here, you need to understand something. Everyone goes through what you're going through. I still go through it daily. Everybody does. You got into options during a bull cycle. So chances are you made some pretty good money for a month or so. But then you continued to trade those options as if you were still in a bull cycle when you turned into the bear cycle, and it bit you in the ass. And then you see yourself making money. You're buying calls that, are several dollars out of the money. And then you're seeing, I don't even have to hit the strike price to make money. And then that's embedded in your head that that's how options work. And it's not. And then you start buying long fucking calls that are way, way out the money. And you're like, well, I don't even need to get to the strike price. I just need to get a few dollars up towards it and I'm going to make money. No, you're not. Now, when you're in a bear cycle, you're not. You're going to lose every fucking bit of that. And the best thing you can hope for is that if you bought those up here at the top, that you bought them long out enough to complete the bull run, at least get into the bull cycle to make some of your money back. I'll give you a perfect example my own shit, I was 2 weeks early on NXTID. I bought my contracts back here when it was in the 40s. I don't know, it was actually right here when it was around 40, 43, somewhere in that area. And I was expecting this 100% move in a week or so. So I got options for 2 weeks out and got shitted on because I was 2 weeks off of the move that it was going to make. But the big mistake people make is, if you wake up one day or you check your portfolio one day and you're down like 70 fucking percent or 80% or something on contracts, you may as well just leave it there. The point of selling is when, you still have some actual value to your contracts. If if your target is 20% or 30% losses and then you're out, then that's where you need to be. If you're pushing almost all of it being gone and you still have several weeks, leave it alone. Leave it alone. What's your word? You're going to lose like 10 more bucks or 15 or 20 or whatever it was. You may as well leave it alone, because I could have sold right here, which when it went back up and it was down like still 40% or some shit, or down 60%, I'd only gotten 40% of value back out of it, and I just left it alone. I left it alone. Still had time. I was wrong. It hadn't made the move that I thought. This was the move I thought it was going to make. I thought this was going to be the 100% move on that day, and I was wrong. It fucking tanked a little bit the next day, and then on that day it went up. So, which is their favorite game to play. But either way, I left it alone, and today's when it expired. And then today, much to my surprise, I go to check my portfolio, and I've made 90% of it back. I still lost 10% overall, but I left it alone. And instead of selling it when it was still had 20% value to get something out of it, at least something out of it, and ended up getting more of it back. And that's a lot of the problems people make. I do it too. I still do it. I did it with AMC this week. Did it this week with it. I have not bought a position in AMC in quite some time, and I bought one on Monday because I know what I know, and I knew this was going to hit the 40s by the end of this week, and should be carrying over into next week, provided that little mini bear cycle doesn't pop up out of nowhere. Who knows? But bought the position on Monday here, went up, made some money. Great. Didn't want to waste a day trade on it because it wasn't much profit anyway, so I was like, well, I'll just hold it. We're going to the 40s anyway. And then, of course, it took a downturn. And then the next day took a downturn. And then by Wednesday, I was down like 25-30%. And that's my stop loss area. And I don't do that with like high volatile stocks. I don't do that with meme stocks. There ain't no stop loss, because at any moment this shit could fucking rip up. But still, it's when something costs hundreds of dollars for a position, and then you see, say you pay $400 and then you lose $100, that's 25% gone right there, as opposed to buying $100 position and you lose $25, which is the same amount of loss but looks nowhere near as bad. And then it freaks you out. And then there was other shit running, so I was like, fuck, I was wrong. I thought I had it right, and I didn't trust my play, didn't trust my own DD. And I was like, they're going to kick it back down to 35. So I was like, well, I'll get out and I'll get back in at 35. And put money into other shit because I figured it was going to ride low into the next day. It did not. Immediately turned around, which has happened to me more times than I can fucking count in AMC and many other things. And I should have just left it alone. I literally should have just left it alone. If I would have left it alone, I would have recouped that 25% and then some, and still be on the way to making more. Those are the most common mistakes people make. You need to use the year to date. This is so very important. This is why I showed you all these indicators. They're the most important. They're the simplest, easiest to read, easiest to gauge what's going on in the stocks environment. And it's just simple. It's fucking peaks and valleys in 2 colors in some different shades. That's really all you need to know. The basic elementary school shit that they taught you. And the RSI is just, for more of day trading or swing trading as a whole. But still, this should be your indicator. This lets you know when you're in a bull cycle or a bear cycle. That's where it's at. And you want to be buying, when it starts getting shaded is typically where you want to be buying. But new people wait until it comes to the histogram and then buy, but you can't do that anymore. You can't, especially in these stocks, especially with the control they have on this entire fucking market right now, because they'll bait you into that shit and get millions in premium and then short the fuck out of it, even though the indicator says it should be heading for a bullish cycle. It's common. It's what they fucking do. It's not shocking anymore. But even then, like even when you're in a bull cycle, you'll have crazy movements. Like this shit. This was a bull cycle, but still, when it fucking went up, it lost like 50% and then went back up and then lost it all again. Like, you're going to have those days that are crazy. But when you're playing, you really, honestly, from a beginner's perspective, you want to be 6 to 8 weeks out. You actually want to be 8 weeks plus out, because once you get within 30 to 45 days, that's really when theta decay and shit start ramping up. And if you're not in the money, you're going to be getting hurt every day that passes. And people keep making this mistake because they got into options during a bull cycle, thinking that, you can buy way out of the money options and gain profit. It doesn't ever need to hit that strike. It just needs to move up and you're going to make money. Not fucking true. It's not true. I mean, you will for that day, but if you're not getting out of it immediately and spending a day trade or whatever it is, that next day, if you're like 20, 30 fucking dollars away from where it's at the money currently, you're going to lose such a huge percentage of that profit. Huge, which is why I've been very, very clear. And when I told you guys how to buy options in AMC, you need to be buying them just out of the money. I mean, just out of the money. Yeah, it's going to cost you a couple $100, but you're more likely to make money, and you're not going to lose as much when it moves down. It's not going to go from, you're already $20 away from the mark, and then now you're fucking $24 away from the mark, as opposed to being right at it, and then now you're $4 away from it. Just trying to give you some perspective on it. But a lot of people make that mistake. You start making options in a bull cycle. You're not even aware you're in a bull cycle. You're just trading options. And then you end up tipping and have no idea, and you're taking profits and opening new positions, and then all of a sudden you have to watch your options die during a bear cycle. And if you, like I said, if you didn't get them out long enough, you're not going to get to enjoy them coming back up during the next bull cycle. You're most likely going to have them at an expiration that tips out at the bull cycle, and hopefully you get your money back by the time they expire. This is really what I want to drive home with options. You need to know the difference between bull cycles and bear cycles, and you need to learn these things. You really do. And people are fucking up. I already know you are. You're buying shit way too far out of the goddamn money. Way too far out of the money. Like, when you're buying something 2 or 3 months out, if it hasn't showed in the last 2 or 3 months that it's gone up $20, you should not be buying a strike price. That's $20 out of the money 2 months out the road. You want to look at your historical highs and historical lows. Go to your fucking 3-month chart. If you're buying something 2 to 3 months out, see where the highs were in that time frame. See where the lows were in that time frame. Buy your puts and buy your calls accordingly. This is why I try to tell you all to educate yourselves on puts, because we were getting ready to turn into a bear cycle. And if you learn about them now, they save you a lot of money in the long run, either as a hedge against your option calls for your position, say a little insurance, or to make money if you're willing to spend that money. But it's no different if you want to make money in this with calls. You got to buy them short, right outside the money, just a couple bucks outside the money. And it's going to cost you hundreds of dollars. Same thing with puts. If you want to buy puts, you need to buy them right there at the money. Something that's legitimate. If it's at $40, you want to be buying $39, $38, because it showed proof that it'll drop under that. And you want to be selling those when it's under that. They don't work like calls, not the same way. So I really want to drive that home about bear and bull cycles. And you need to look at your charts. You have to look at the historical data, not the fucking monthly ever, and not the 5-day chart, none of that. 3 months is just to gauge if you're looking to go, out 2 to 3 months. That's just to gauge it. You start with your year to date. That's bottom line, to see where you're at. What cycle are you in? Are you even in a cycle? Are you flatlining? What are you doing? That's what you do. This is where you start. And then you go down to your 6 month and just see historically where has it been in the last 180 days. And then if you're planning on getting, a 3 to 6, well, maybe not 3 to 6, but 2 to 3 month call, you need to look at your 3 month. And you need to see where it's been, when it was last there, gauge what the odds are that it will go to that price again. You need to not buy these things as if you're expecting MOAS. That's the problem everyone's making. My homeboy in the money that I like, who I've learned a lot from, just did a video on Wall Street bets and some fucking idiot who back in August bought like $90,000 or something worth of Virgin Galactic and lost it all in less than a week. Lost all. Well, he didn't lose all of it, but he sold out of his positions. He still had weeks left and sold out and took the loss and just cried about it. Because he bought fucking shit that was not historically accurate. He bought shit that was like $35 away from the strike price because people on YouTube and on Reddit forums are telling him that MOAS is coming, and he doesn't even fucking know a damn thing about the market. Nothing. And he's just like, well, they told me. He's on there blaming them. You guys lost me all my money. No, they didn't. You did. You fucking did, because you didn't want to educate yourself. You wanted somebody else to tell you what to do. That's it. You wanted them to tell you what to do with your money, and now you're mad that you listen to them and you don't even know any of their qualifications, who they are. Have they made any money, or have they done anything to actually teach any individuals anywhere anything, or is this just like a copy and pasted Reddit post or someone's stolen screenshot of look at all the money I made, blah, 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 whatever. You can't be running around here blaming them for that. That's still, like, I still take responsibility for my shit, 100%. This was my fault that I didn't take the gains that I should have when I did. Did they influence that? Sure they did, but ultimately it's still my decision. What did I do? Instead of crying and bitching about it, I decided to take action myself and try to help as many people as I could not listen to these fucking idiots. Especially the ones that have never even shown anyone a chart or anything close to a shred of evidence of what they say, who I have watched historically be wrong from this time all the way to now. Just be wrong, 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 wrong. So I just wanted to drive that point home. You guys really need to be careful when buying these options. Like even now, I just bought back into my option somewhere around here, another one, because I'm anticipating a big move next week, and I'm not really worried. I mean, I was expecting them to knock this down to 39, but I was really expecting them to do it already, and they haven't. So I'm not quite sure it's going to go down to 39, but that's still a good sign. I wanted to see some form of shorting heading into the end of the day, because I'm anticipating a big move sometime next week, and this is what I wanted to see. There's no guarantee it's going to happen. Like I said, there's a bear cycle that could present itself. Monday or Tuesday could very easily be met with a bunch of shorting prior to a big move, because that's their favorite thing to do. Short some shit way down, and then that way the run, if you got in anywhere up here, is only going to make your money back. But we'll see what it does. And like I said, there's a very good chance. This is already doing everything I anticipated, and I've said it was going to do. And I'm still anticipating a run sometime, a quick run up towards 50, maybe a little bit over it, that gets smacked down. And that might happen prior to the bear cycle. Like that might be what kicks the bear cycle in. It'll be like a small 3 to 5 day bear cycle. But that might be what it is. It's run up and then a sell-off that pushes it down into a little tiny bear cycle till people aren't scared anymore and hop back in. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, yeah, I just want you guys to be safe trading options and understand that shit happens to everybody. Everybody. I mean, I got some positions like in here and in here, and they're still sitting at a loss, but I got them out to towards the end of November. So I'm anticipating a bull run coming through that month that's going to make them profitable by that time. Which is why it's important. That's September, so I went longer than 2 months out. I went right in the middle of 2 and 3 months. That's a great place to be. It's a really great place to be. And you need to be willing to spend this money. That's the thing everyone's trying to do. Everyone's falling into this get rich quick scheme for cheap. And you want to buy the cheapest fucking shit there is out there, and you want the cheapest shit to turn into millions of dollars. It doesn't work that way. It's not going to work that way. It's just not. I promise you, it's not. You need to be close to the money. You need to be spending that money because it's going to make you money. You have to spend money to make money. Everyone is out here gambling. You're gambling. You may as well go buy lottery tickets or scratch offs or go to a casino, because that's all you're doing, except you have no chance. You're just watching a fucking line that someone else is controlling, and you're making very, very bad bets. A lot of people are. No one anywhere, nobody anywhere should have calls for this thing that expire this year for like over $55 is probably where I'd say the max should be at this point right now. You just shouldn't. The closer the better. You should definitely be under 50 in my opinion. I don't think you should be anywhere even near over 50 at this point, because you don't know what this is going to do. Nobody does. This thing could cruise into next year, and it could just ramp up to the 50s and be floating into the 50s into January. Maybe they're going to repeat themselves exactly around the same time they did last year for the next move. I don't think so. I think it's coming prior to that, prior to the end of the year, because all the infrastructure changes for one, plus that's what the program says it's going to do, and the historical data says it's going to do. But we shall see. So be safe out there, guys. Please, when you have free time, pop open your Weeble app, go to the paper trading shit, and just fucking, you get $1 million. $1 million. You can just play around with whatever the hell you want. Just buy positions, dick around, or use Think or Swim, and just dick around. Just play. Come up with strategies. Trade, even if it's something you really want to trade in a meme stock or something, trade it here first. See if your strategy works. Because if you're just looking at a line, or you're going on YouTube or Reddit, and that's the only information you're getting that is influencing your decisions to buy shit, you're pissing your money away. And you're a fucking liar if you sit here and tell me that that's what you do and you're making money doing it. Because you're not. I guarantee you're not. I already know some of you are in plays that I tested out back in fucking May and June and shit that weren't worth a damn. They were a waste of fucking money, and they're really cheap, so that makes you want to put a shitload of money into them, and then you lose it all because they're not even capable of making moves that you think they are. It's dangerous. It's why I don't like a lot of stocks that are really, really, really cheap. Because you've been fucking around playing with stocks that are $10, $40, $100, and then you see this little tiny pennies in the stock. That's all it is, and you just assume that it hitting $1 or more is no problem. That's a no-brainer. It could easily do that when that's just not the case. There's a lot of other factors, like what's the float size and all of that shit. How much volume does it trade on average? There's a lot that goes into that stuff, a whole lot. Just because it's cheap does not mean that it's a great value at all. So be careful. Educate you guys yourselves. You guys got this. I know you do. We're entering a bull cycle, and there could be a bear mix in there, but I want you to understand that does not mean that it's going to be just an upward yay here. I mean, you went through this one with me. I walked a lot of people through this one. And there was days to lose money, and there was days to make money, and the best way to play this bull cycle was to be in and out, in and out, in and out, because they were fucking with this thing hard. And that could very well be the case here again. Options are reacting much, much better than they were back here, though. I mean, significantly better for AMC. Like I said, I held that position all day yesterday, and it was profitable this morning. I didn't have to buy it at the end of the day or nothing. God damn it, they are going to kick it down to 39. Well, either way, I was anticipating that. That's what I was looking for. And that, the closer it gets to 39, the more I believe that this bigger move is coming here shortly. Probably not today, but definitely next week. I would anticipate that. But either way, that's what I was looking for. I did not want to see this thing coasting into the end, to the weekend doing this shit or doing this shit. I wanted to see some fucking shorting. I wanted to see some shorting. Maybe it won't get to 39. Maybe I was off. But either way, that's all I really wanted to see was some shorting. So I'm anticipating a good week next week. But there is still the very real possibility of this bitch right here. Very real possibility of that. And it could happen at any time. But we'll see. We should be safe to assume we're entering the bull cycle. We may not be in the bull run. So, once again, don't fucking take what I say and go dump life savings into anything ever. Small positions is always the best. You should never, ever, 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 ever invest more than you're willing to never, ever see again. And if you invest that way, and you invest in options the way that I've tried to teach everybody to, you should be fine. You have to have a plan. Like that's just it. That's what everyone's doing that's fucking them up. You don't have a plan. You do not have a trading strategy. You're just putting money in places and hoping it fucking blows up. You got to manage these plays. You have to. If I did that shit, I literally I'd have no money. And if you do that shit, you can fuck yourself into having no money. If you have a strategy in place and you know when to cut losses, you at least give yourself a fighting chance to leave yourself with more money. And then you take a step back, stop, being so rambunctious and overzealous, and start, consolidating your plays, focusing on one or two, maybe three, and really, really watching those. And then you got to build your shit back up rather than just leave your shit in there till expiration and cross your fingers and hope for the best. And then chances are you don't have anything by expiration. It happens a lot. It happens to me. I've got like 5 plays that expired this weekend or expire today that are worthless. It happens. It just does. But, when they're smaller plays and you're not dumping a shitload of money into them, it's not a huge big deal, but they do add up. If you have a bunch of them, like 20 plays or something that expire on the same fucking weekend, that's very, very hard to manage. It's very hard to manage. What if they all start running at the same time? If they all start running at the same time, you're not going to be able to go through 20 different plays and sell out of all of them. Some shit's going to start tanking before you can get to it. My high recommendation for playing these squeeze plays, options or shares, whatever you're doing, is to have no more than 5. None. No more than 5. If you have more positions than that, the rest of them should all just be long-term investments or plays that you have you're not planning on touching any of them for quite some time. Quite some time. Like next year sometime. Aside from that, you need to be able to see all of your plays, not have to scroll through them, that you want to be able to get in or out or whatever you need to do, in a matter of seconds. So keep all that shit in mind. You should be good. Stop listening to these motherfuckers out here that have been wrong over and over and over again. Please. Just stop. And take the time to educate yourself. Please. There are so many videos out there that are, 20 minutes. Just 20 minutes. Just watch them, learn a couple things. Like I said, In the Money is one of my favorites. And that's who y'all, just check him out. Just go watch his shit. He'll teach you a whole lot of stuff. He's a smart fucking kid. Oh, this was the video about Wall Street bets, which is very smart. That's exactly what I've been telling you all for months now. It's exactly what I've been telling you guys for months. Because you get a bunch of people that have a bunch of fucking money that have never traded before, and they're taking hundreds of thousands of dollars and attempting to turn it into millions, and they don't even know how. Just they're hoping on magic to do that. But this guy will teach you all kinds of shit. He's got a wonderful fucking catalog. He'll teach you whatever you need to know. Everything. All different types of strategies. Even teach you about options. Teach you about the Greeks. All that shit. Very smart kid. So please check him out. You can learn a whole lot. I learned a lot of shit from watching this cat. Smart. Level-headed. So check him out if you got time. Use Thinkorswim or Paper Trade on Webull to practice and play. You should always have some plays going in your paper trading app. You should always be learning on the side. You should always fucking have your own little shit going on. Stuff that you're looking at or following, and you want to see how it reacts over the course of a couple weeks, and you're looking to make a long-term play or whatever over the course of a week if you're trying to make a short-term play. Just do what you guys can to educate yourselves and become better traders. It's going to lead to success ultimately. Obviously, it takes money too, so I can't fucking, that's the bane of a lot of my shit. Like, I don't have the money needed to invest the way, like, to my full fucking potential. I just don't. And it's not easy to make. It takes weeks. To really make money and be successful in this market, you have to be able to wait weeks, sometimes months, for certain plays to make you the money that you're looking for. And when you got bills due every fucking month, every couple weeks, and you got to keep pulling money out of there, that's fucking, it's a pain in the ass. I would destroy these cats on Wall Street, fucking destroy them if I was able to trade like them. I'd destroy their fucking high frequency trading system. Their algos are so easy to predict for the long term. Like, if I could put my money into shit and let that ride and not have to worry about looking at it for a couple weeks, couple months, and then just play games versus the fucking computers during the day, all day, make as many trades as I want, I would tear that fucking thing apart, dude. I would tear that thing apart. It is very predictable. But when you're hindered by the amount of money you have and only being able to make 3 trades, you have to be so calculating, you have to be so sure. It makes it very, very difficult. Very difficult. If I could fucking trade like these assholes do, if I had $100,000 and I could be like, yep, I'm throwing 10,000 in here for 90 seconds and watch that bitch run up and get out of it, and I just made $3,000 or whatever, I would kill these motherfuckers for real. Not literally, but at their own game. But be safe, guys. I'm out of here. I'm gonna get my fat ass in shape and start exercising. Sitting here watching these charts all day. It's the one thing I want I want peace of mind again. I'd say that week of June 2nd through the end, like the next, till the 18th, up until the 18th. Actually, no, not even then, because I started watching money disappear, but still, that first week when that shit happened, dude, I slept so good. I had, like, no worries. I was just, paying off credit card debt and all kinds of other shit. It was just, that's the only thing that money is good for, in my opinion, is it does definitely alleviate stress. It most certainly alleviates stress. And it allows you to enjoy your life more. You don't necessarily need it to be spending and going out on lavish, buying sprees, material shit, but the peace of mind of being able to live the way you want to live, because you don't have to worry about shit. There's nothing that's forcing your hand because you need that almighty dollar. You know, that type of shit is what I'm talking about. But go check out In the Money. Get your ass on a paper trading app. Make sure you are studying, educating yourself, understanding the difference between bull cycles, bear cycles. Both of them have instances that can bite you in the ass like this. You need to be ready for them. I'm going to start trying to make more videos because I'm super duper concerned with a lot of this fucking community again. And we're getting very, very close to what I believe is going to be a significant leg up again. And I just want to make sure I'm here and ready to be like, yo, get out of it now. Don't listen to these bitches. Don't prop up their fucking level of support so they can keep bouncing off your back and your holdings. Get out. And with that, I'm out.